I am Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And we're paranormal specialists who live in the most haunted city on earth, Savannah, Georgia. Every day is Halloween in our line of work, so join us as we spin true tales of haunts, murders, and disturbing Savannah history. I'm Madison.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to the most haunted city on earth. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Most Haunted City on Earth. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And I'm JT Timmons.
And we are here with a Q&A. Yes, thank you for sending in your questions, y'all. If you have a question that we did not answer here on the podcast, utilize the Q&A button on TikTok. It is Haunted City Podcast, and that is where I pull all of our questions. But Chris had mentioned if you don't have a TikTok, send it to us at ghostmail at hauntedcitypodcast.com and just put in the subject question. Yeah. So that way we can pull it from there too. But with that, we do have a few para-junkies to thank.
We do. All right. Here we go. I would love to thank Levi Lewis, Dimes El Chediak, Whitney Bratcher, Gigaswint, and Dawn Nielsen. Thank y'all so much, and we are happy that you are part of the Para-Junkie family. Yes. New members.
Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. How many Para-Junkies are we up to?
That's a good question. Hold on. That is 91.
Woo.
I know, we're getting
coming close to that 100.
I know.
Getting towards 100.
So if you want to become a Para-Junkie and get all of our episodes way before anybody else without ads.
No ads.
And then also just get our general Discord and things like that of all the ghostly stuff we're always talking about over on Patreon. It's a fun place to be. Definitely consider coming on over to that side. You can find it in the link in our bio. But also, I recently just started publicly selling all of my witchy style jewelry and things like that. Woohoo! Yes, you can now buy it online, which is a new thing for me. But basically, my company is called Country Witch Co., and I make spell jars type jewelry where I custom curate the herbs for different metaphysical properties. So I've got like sleep stuff, I've got self-love, confidence boosting, anti-anxiety, psychic abilities, all the good stuff. So a little bit of something for everybody. If you would like to check that out, you can find it at www.countrywitchco.com.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo.
All right, here we go. We ready to start it up?
Yep.
Dope lettuce. All right. This first question is asked by No One 91.
All right, then.
What are your thoughts on pregnant women going on investigations?
Oh, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't?
Don't. Yeah, I have pretty strong feelings about that. Don't do that.
Whoa, okay, why? I'm jarred right now. Wait, why?
Well, and it's interesting because we have countless ghost stories that kind of involve pregnant women being falling victim to very pointed ghostly attacks. As a matter of fact, here in Savannah, one of the most famous ghosts in town is Alice Riley, and she has been known to tug at, follow, and pester pregnant women. There's a lot to being pregnant that puts you in an interesting paranormal state. You are literally a physical door for a soul to come into the world. You are carrying a living being that is forming and being formed, which is in almost every culture that I've come across, the construct and concept of that is a very potent and powerful thing. Eggs being something that is oftentimes used in exorcisms around the world, also oftentimes used to present to spirits the line between the living and the veil, what's on the other side. So I personally think it's an unnecessary risk to bring a pregnant woman to investigation because of the myriad of things that can go wrong. But also in the first trimester, there is a great many traumas and issues that could befall you simply by going out and running in the dark and running around and moving around and being in the dark and being scared and having a heightened sensation or being shocked or being, there's so many things that can go wrong in a pregnancy. I would not want to put any undue stress upon a pregnant woman. Imagine, if you will, that we don't allow pregnant women to ride on roller coasters. There was a time when very scary movies, we tell pregnant women, people with heart conditions, don't. Also, if you have a heart condition, don't go on a ghost hunt either. Not because I think the ghosts are going to get you, just because the extra risk of falling down, of heightened stress, of things of that nature. So that's my general take on it. I do believe that as on the paranormal side, a pregnant woman is a lightning rod. There's a lot going on in the human body, magic, pure magic. A life is being developed. That's got to be enticing to a spirit, especially if you're dealing with an evil spirit, especially if you're dealing with a demonic force, especially when you're dealing with all those things. So just as a general rule for me, personally, don't do it.
Okay.
I will tell you, though, we recently at the underground had a pregnant woman come through. She took my tour, and then we brought her here. This woman was about to pop.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. She literally, she came back onto the trolley, and she was just she's like, is that place, actually haunted? And I was like, yeah, it is. She's like, okay, because, when we were standing over by the hag bed, I felt someone, rubbing my belly. And I was like, okay. And I was more worried that she was going to get so freaked out that she'd go into labor.
Right.
Personally.
That's a genuine concern.
Yeah. Well, because
Radar's listening to this right now going, the trickster spirit.
Well, I know, right? Well, yeah, she's like, I felt someone rubbing my belly. And then she was like, and then in the demon room, I just felt like somebody was standing behind me the whole time. And I was like, well, okay. And granted, she did get really scared inside that room, so it might have just been our demon actor.
Right, sure.
Because I believe she was standing over by where the demon comes out, and she was one of our few guests that have peed their pants in that room.
Okay.
So
understandable.
I was like, maybe that one can be explained, but I was like, anybody else touching her stomach, that would have been notable. I think she would have.
Yeah,
probably
been able to observe someone rubbing your belly.
Exactly. So,
there's a lot of people that have peed their pants in here.
Well, yeah. We literally
it's a scary
people.
thing.
I just think that's so
and
interesting.
not everybody
They're
has
not pregnant, though.
Good bladder control.
Exactly.
That's wild.
But yeah, so that's my story with the pregnant lady.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah. And
Got two paranormal OBGYNs sitting right next to me.
Yeah. Do not have Rosemary's Baby happen to you.
right. Also, yeah,
so,
open invitations to a body that is still forming for a spirit to inhabit. Any way you look at it, there's a lot of spookies.
Okay. All right.
That was a good question, though.
It was a great question.
That was a
It was a
solidly
wicked
good
good
question.
question. All right. Goth Dog Mom 96 asks, what gave Ouija boards so much power since they were man-made?
We did.
Yeah. We gave them that intention and we gave them that purpose, which.
So could this coffee cup be a Ouija board? If I gave it all the purpose to contact the dead, could it happen? Could I twist it to the left 2 times because that's what I believe, and then twist it back 3 times because that's what I believe?
So it's about the amount of it, because, like we said, the intention's there, but it had to be believable to all the people who were buying into it.
Yeah.
When you see it and you're being told and introduced to the idea, that's going to be a harder sell. You know, because I don't know how it works. How does that communication work?
But if someone painted a bunch of letters all over it, and then it looked like super legit, everyone would believe it. And so, okay, all right, heard. That makes a ton of sense.
Because faith is an amazing force. And the more you can get people to believe a certain thing, the more tangible and real that thing becomes, and usable by other means, by other supernatural forces. So man-made things have intent, but it's also the participation of all the people who come to it. You know, I say that this item gives you luck. Does it give you luck just inherently? No, but the more people believe that it can, the more likely it is that it will. You know, the more likely it is that you're altering it. I think we talk about manifestation as a big thing right now. People talk about manifestation being, I'm bringing this certain type of energy into my life. Well, you can do that with objects. And the Ouija board was marketed and sold, so everybody saw it and was like, oh, I could talk to the dead. And it became a craze. You know, it became an absolute craze because at the time of its inception, the whole country was kind of being eaten alive by this, new metaphysical spirit talking kind of sensation. So there are a lot of people who are investing their energy and their thoughts and their belief into this product.
Yeah.
It's also perfectly created to make it easy for spirits to communicate.
Yes.
So versus like a coffee cup.
Right. That's going to be difficult.
So, I mean, in theory, you could, in the way of like divination sort of thing, like how a pendulum would work, where basically you say this way's yes and this way's no. I mean, you could tell a spirit like, hey, knock this coffee cup to the left. If it's a yes, knock this coffee cup to the right.
Not what I mean. Like, could you use anything as a catalyst to contact the dead? Not in like, knock it to the left or the right, but actually create a portal out of it.
So her point being, spirits will not waste their energy on a complicated and convoluted means of communication. It is, that's why the pendulum works. So it's easy.
Okay. So
the way that the Ouija board works, it
simplifies it to where it like is a really
it's
good,
very user friendly.
Interesting.
And the letters are there. It's very splayed out for them, so they can see like, okay, I'm gonna spell my name out, or I'm gonna spell out.
It's like the Stranger Things light bulbs.
Yes.
Christmas lights.
Yes.
It's like I can touch these light bulbs. They represent these things. I can do that, and that's a very easy way to communicate.
If we have any artist listeners that like work with wood and stuff, I would definitely buy a Ouija board coffee cup from you that has like letters like all around the cup. You can drink your coffee out of it, but also you can like spell the like do, I don't know. It'd be cool. Like the planchette is like I'm envisioning like the planchette being part of the cup, and it like moves down to different letters, like a puzzle almost. I don't know.
That's a very complicated coffee cup, but I mean,
that's my order.
Yeah.
It also becomes again intent. The intent of the original design was to sell it.
Yeah.
But the intent of everybody who bought it was to speak to the dead. And that's overwhelming.
Wow.
It's an overwhelming odds that people who bought it, even in that jokey joke way, even in the I don't believe this, I guarantee you somewhere in there they were thinking, it's wild. Talk to the dead. Because most people think of it like a telephone to the dead. I'm going to call up, Marilyn Monroe.
Literally.
And that becomes this kind of ideology behind the board. And you can't put that kind of intent on an object so frequently and not have it bear some sort of fruit.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I like it, you all. I like it.
Also a good question.
Yeah.
Your brain needs support, and new Ollie Brainy Chews are a delightful way to take care of your cognitive health. Made with scientifically backed ingredients like Thai ginger, L-theanine, and caffeine, Brainy Chews support healthy brain function and help you find your focus, stay chill, or get energized. Be kind to your mind and get these nootropic chews at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All right, this one is from Mako Reiko. Do you think doppelgangers thrive as we get older? It's known that as people near death, one sign it's about to happen is a major personality change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I like it.
it's interesting if they thrive when we're near dead. I mean, to me personally, I feel like no. Just because it's like they're kind of tethered to us in a way. So wouldn't it, technically be that they're also dying? They're also near death. So,
But they're also more desperate.
that is true.
They're running out of time to experience this world, because I think that is one of those goals of doppelgangers, is to have the experience of being alive, of being in this world and in this realm. So they could be backed into a corner. It's like, I've only got a few years left. I only have a few months left, and they may become more aggressive to take over, to be a part, to experience life that they've been watching the whole time. When you think about the idea that, they die when we die, the construct is there. Unless they are us, unless they come into us, because when they become us, again, they die when we die. So they're living out the extra bit of life. So you would think that doppelgangers are strongest in youth, with the potential of becoming us being the great reward. But as time runs out, I would imagine they're just more desperate. I think that they realize that their time is running out, and they haven't accomplished the goal of their existence, which was to become and to live in our realm.
This is going to sound crazy, but I just got this idea. Madison, you always mention Zodiac stuff. Yeah. And, I didn't know anything about Zodiac before meeting you. But then you would tell me about, like, your sun and your moon, or your rising and your, what's the other one?
Waxing.
Your rising sign. You have a whole
What if your
chart.
What if your doppelganger's part of that birth chart? Like, what if your doppelganger is your moon, and the more your moon shows, the closer you are to death?
So your moon sign is how you are internally when nobody else is around you. It's like your most true self.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's necessary.
Maybe it has to do with your birth chart. Is my point. What if your doppelganger has to do with your birth chart?
It would probably have the exact same birth chart as you.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head was going to.
I mean, I guess you could say it would mirror it.
Yeah.
If it was, if you
wanted
to mirror
what if it was the opposite?
Existence.
So that would mean, if you're going off of that theory, you're basically saying, like, every zodiac sign has their, like, sister sign, sort of, which is the exact opposite. I believe Leo. So, like, I'm a Leo, and, like, I believe.
What, you are? No way.
I know. Nobody could have ever guessed that. Anyways, I believe that one is Gemini. So it's like,
Gemini,
or something like that.
Maybe that's the hint.
What?
That the higher force is giving us, the Gemini.
No.
Maybe that's a hint. Like, hey, this is JT's onto something. I don't know. I feel like Ashton Kutcher and Dude, Where's My Car right now. But, like, seriously, like.
No.
Madison's like, wrong.
Because the Zodiac is geared towards a system of being alive, it's very difficult to assign zodiological principles to non-human entities. It would be difficult to look at your dog and be like, well, you're definitely a X, Y, or Z zodiac sign because of your birth, because it's about so many facets. The concept. It was born of observation of human nature.
But Argyle is a Scorpio.
No, she's not. She's a Leo.
Oh my God. Is she?
Yeah.
And
Tartan's a Scorpio.
No, that you're right. That doesn't make sense at all.
Exactly. It doesn't work.
I mean, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
It just doesn't ring the same, because it is conditional, and typically doppelgangers just aren't human. They're not human, but they want to be. Mm-hmm. They desperately want to be. So I would say that, and the classic story is a kind person turns mean, a generous person turns miserly. Signs that the doppelganger has achieved its goal, which is kind of freaky.
Yeah.
To think that. Well, to think that as you're ending your life, you're probably going to have the biggest fight of your spiritual existence when your doppelganger's like, you've had this whole life. I'm taking the last month, I'm taking the last year, I'm taking the last, you've squandered your youth and I could have done more. And, So
do you think that everyone who has died in the history of the world has met their doppelganger, we just don't know it?
That's terrifying, but I don't think that's true either.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
I don't actually believe that
I like
doppelgangers are as rampant
As we
tend to say it. We
No, they're
generalize
coming
the term
for us.
that everybody has a doppelganger. I don't know that everybody has a doppelganger. I know that what a doppelganger is a spirit that is mimicking your life.
Is that your
and touches
doppelganger
you too.
saying that? though,
Maybe.
Chris?
Could be. No, I just
something a doppelganger would say.
I just don't know that the doppelganger, because even the concept of the mirror world, the mirror, there's a mirror world to ours that is existing beyond the mirror. It could just be a calamity of spirits that attach to you and start to form this relationship with you, and it may not be everybody has one.
Sure.
It just may be a doppelganger is a duplicate, because I think the legend is every single person has a doppelganger.
Yeah.
That when you're born, a doppelganger is born, and you go through existence like that. But it just doesn't seem like there's enough evidence of doppelganger stories to suggest that everybody is having this issue.
Sure.
Or maybe it's just a question of some doppelgangers are just fierce and strong and more powerful.
I'm on the side of everyone has a doppelganger, and we have absolutely no idea because the doppelganger kill you immediately. You have no idea it's right behind you.
Exactly.
So, yeah. JT's just throwing in wrenches left and right in this episode. But
I think that's the general belief of doppelgangers is that everybody has one, and that there's no way of knowing when a doppelganger becomes, overtakes the person.
Yeah.
You could just note a personality change, and maybe you don't. Maybe the doppelganger is adept at being, I'm living your life, and it's a good life, so I'm going to be exactly like you, and so nobody would know.
Sure. The
No, they're evil.
And to answer your question, JT, I don't think zodiacs have anything to do, or your birth chart have any ideas or clues into your doppelgangers.
Another thing a doppelganger would say.
Okay, no.
All right.
Oh no,
Moving
we're
on to
all
the next
doppelgangers.
one.
But it's for real, though. Birth charts are meant to kind of teach you or give you clues into your true personality, your life's purpose, your purpose from past lives. If you
So
really
it would behoove a doppelganger to be
Yes, it
studying your
would.
chart.
Sure.
Saying, so I should do this, and if
yeah.
if I met that person, I need to do this.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that
Big Brother's watching.
I don't
Manifest
think that's. I don't think.
Manifest the truth, bro.
I don't know if
Why
anybody.
would you want to manifest that truth? What's wrong with you? Manifest better truths, people.
That's a quote from
like-
Big Brother like 4 seasons ago.
Well, from like 20.
I don't even remember his name, but if you're listening, no, he's definitely not listening. But he goes, manifest the truth, bro, when he was in an argument because she was
like
talking.
Nick or something
Yeah,
like that. And
the girl he was arguing with was like talking about manifesting things, and she was like, I guess she was lying, and he goes, manifest the truth, bro.
well, she was like really into
love
like
it.
zodiac and crystals and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, she like won. No,
No, she
no,
didn't.
no, no. She almost won.
no, she didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Go watch Big Brother and
No, don't do that.
All right, here we go. On to the next one. This is asked by Cat Heart.
Meow, meow, meow.
Can we stop meowing? All right. I don't know why I don't like that.
That's so weird. Of all the things that we've discussed, cat sounds
Bother JT.
Hi guys, I love your content. Keep up the great stuff. Thanks, Cat
Thank you.
Heart.
Meow, meow, meow.
I'm quitting. I quit. I quit. It's just them now. They can figure out all the tech stuff. I don't care. No. Not the different types, y'all. Stop it. All right. Now
You stumbled upon something interesting.
No, it's
going to become a thing.
No.
You've seen it. The birth of a
We're
thing.
never going to get through this. It like makes me cry. Stop.
He has a fear of cat noises.
It's like, it reminds, I don't know. Okay, I don't want to get in that. All right, here we go. Anyways, my question is, why are women more likely to have spiritual gifts than men are?
Because women are magic.
Yeah. That's it.
I mean, when you
Next question.
when you really think about it, women are the vessels that carry new life. Women are, perceived as having all these things. Even the hormones that are associated with women, estrogen versus testosterone. Estrogen leads to empathy, to openness, to nurturing. All of those things are absolutely essential for navigating the spiritual realm. Women create life. They hold life. They carry life. They nurture it. They birth it into the world. They are doorways from which spirits become flesh. And even more fascinating is this concept is that iron in the blood, iron being one of the things that repels spirit and supernatural entities, iron being something that we use in a lot of ways to protect ourselves. Women have a menstruation cycle in which their iron oftentimes gets depleted. Women do suffer more iron depletion, which means that their guards against the supernatural are lessened. If you went that route, if you wanted to talk in that route,
that tracks.
And because a lot of times women will say that their first or their most potent early experiences were around that first menstruation cycle when they're basically awakening not only to the world that they are more dominant and powerful in, but it is they are flushing iron out of their system that then allows for spirits to become more interactive with their lives. But there and we could go on. I mean, we could do an entire show about how the structures. Because even when we talked, we had brought this up about trans women, and would spirits, have that same interaction? And I think because women also carry with them a social construct that we have placed upon them for millennia and millennia from the beginning of time, that even trans women would be more susceptible by the position that they assume in our society by asserting and recognizing their true form, their true self.
Yeah.
So that in itself becomes a opening because ideally the social structure has been men hunt and women gather, men build fortresses and women make homes. That kind of structure, which is seemingly arbitrary, but the truth is humans have a stupid long gestation period. And in that gestation period is when men, being jealous and kind of mindless thugs, decided to subjugate women because women do something remarkable that men can't. So men say, I'm going to build the biggest building. Look at the big building. And the woman's like, I gave birth to a baby. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to build a rocket to the moon. It's like, well, I made a baby. No, so we're constantly in this power struggle of what can we do to affect the exterior world, men, and what women do for the interior world, not just create life, but nurture it and have all of this miraculous ability. Not to say that men don't have anything to do with it. I'm just saying that the nature of our society has even leveled all of this spiritual weight onto the shoulders of women.
If I make this into a TikTok, all the 41-year-old men wearing affliction shirts are gonna crap.
Yes.
Oh no, they will march on Savannah and drag us out and burn us in the square.
They're
But
gonna be like BS,
yes, but
not true.
so you guys heard it here first. My anemia is actually the reason that honestly I am very anemic, and it makes me wonder. I'm like, maybe that's why I'm so sensitive.
Debris
that's
is anemic too. She's not here right now, but Debris is anemic too. And she said ever since she moved into a new place, she like sees and feels things.
Well, her place is very haunted.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like
so-
she's susceptible to
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Well, it's but it is interesting though that I think a lot of it has to do with your lineage too. Certain women are just naturally more gifted spiritually, and like for instance, my family,
Perthshire.
well,
All the Scottish witches from Perthshire.
yeah, that sounds about right. Yep, but it's but I'm just saying that like multiple women in both sides of my family have abilities, and so it's like it makes sense that it passes down.
Oh yeah.
So who knows where it started, but I think it runs lineage like through your lineage a lot of times.
There's a solid belief in the genealogy of that, classically, absolutely.
Could it be as simple as women are more open-minded?
Possibly, but I think a lot of it. I mean, I've met a lot of really closed-minded women, so it's like
Well, sure, but are they the ones seeing the ghosts?
Well, so here's the thing, but there's plenty of open-minded men also.
Are there though?
To spirits,
I haven't met many.
they're there.
They're there. They
Oh, they're
exist.
there. They're there. I'm just saying I haven't met many. The question is, why is there more
I'm
women?
just telling you, I
okay.
don't think that's a part of it. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's necessarily a thing. Just because there's plenty of open-minded people of all types of genders who just,
Yeah.
Well, because the question is the overall mask, because that's certainly not saying that there aren't men who are sensitive and who see and who have these experiences. The prevailing observation or perception is that women are more sensitive, right?
Sure.
Which might be the answer. They're more sensitive. It might be this blanket concept, but that sensitivity might be born of a variety of genetics and a variety of just biological science.
Okay.
And I think also just women are more connected generally to, like energy and the way the world operates, you know. They used to be able to track their menstrual cycles by the moon cycle and things like that. You were kind of able to sync up to it. And that's a lot of power, if you're able to sync to something like that. So it's
right to nature.
Yeah.
The full force of nature.
So, I think women are just in general just more sensitive for pretty just much that. It's just is what it is.
Cool.
So
All righty. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see. Lindsay_Rhodes asks, are you able to contact spirit guides through paranormal tools?
no, not necessarily. I mean, you can contact them through like divination tools and stuff, if that's what you're meaning. But like, like spirit boxes and things like that. Spirit guides particularly operate a bit differently than your general run-of-the-mill ghost of sorts, because they're in tune with you, not in tune with the rest of the world, really.
Right.
So it's not like you can flip on your spirit box and just start having a conversation. The best way, if you're trying to get in touch with your spirit guides, is more so to open yourself up.
Meditation.
Meditation's a great way to do it. You can start using tarot cards if you want to learn how to do things like that. That tends to help people who are a bit more visual.
And generally, spirit guides do not have a lot of business in our realm, if that makes sense. They don't affect our realm that much. They're connected. They're tethered to you.
Yeah.
The connection is more of a relationship than it is they're present. Like they're there. They're not opening doors or ringing bells or things like that necessarily. So it would be weird to have a spirit guide come through those measures, because those measures are generally what is affecting the physical realm around us, and those are usually intruding spirits versus a spirit guide who I wouldn't deem as intruding. It's connective.
Yeah. They're operating on a whole different plane than most other spirits, and that's why it can be a little bit trickier to get in contact with them. Because
and sometimes there are ghosts or paranormal entities that behave like guides that aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, they just take a liking to you and protect you, but they're not your spirit guide. They are just ghosts that have taken an interest in you and become protective of you.
Right.
So there are misleading avenues there.
Right.
Because you can. I've definitely heard of ghosts that latch onto a person and then become hyper defensive about them, and that is not a spirit guide.
Yeah.
That is a ghost with an attachment.
Yeah, if a spirit or if an entity is telling you through like a spirit box or something like that it's your spirit guide, definitely shut that down real quick.
Yeah, be very, very cautious about anyone identifying themselves as your spirit guide, because generally if that makes sense.
Right.
Like your spirit guide does not need to tell you it's your spirit guide.
Right.
That conversation is not necessary. It doesn't, I am your spirit guide. I don't know that to be the way it works. But I do know that a ghost that latches onto you wanting a deeper connection with you will tell you anything you want to hear.
Yeah.
And will bargain with you. We'll trade information, with
Exactly.
you. And that is generally not how my understanding of spirit guides, that's not how it works. It's not an exchange. It is connective, and it is as much a purpose of their existence to guide you as it is your purpose to live your life. There's a totally different energy to it.
There is.
All right, we got one more question.
Many of us have those stubborn pounds that seem impossible to lose, no matter how good we eat or how hard we work out. My solution is PlushCare. PlushCare is a leading telehealth provider with doctors who are there for you day and night to partner with you in your weight loss journey. They can prescribe FDA-approved weight loss medications like Wegovy and Zepbound for those who qualify. Plus, they accept most insurance plans. To get started, visit plushcare.com/weightloss. That's plushcare.com/weightloss.
It's a pretty good one. Jessica Reynolds 372 asks, what is the best way to get rid of an annoying spirit? I have one that won't stop opening cabinets and closing them in the middle of the night.
So that can be tricky depending on why the spirit is there.
Right.
Because it could be a spirit that is attached to your house, which is going to be very difficult to get rid of because you're technically intruding in its space because it's been there longer than you.
Right.
I mean, you can try smoke cleansing, you can try sound cleansing, and saying like, hey, you need to move on out if you're, if it's able to, but sometimes you just simply have to learn how to coexist with it and set boundaries. Because you can't always get rid of them, but you can tell them like, hey, you opening my cabinets in the middle of the night really sucks. I gotta sleep, so like stop that. And maybe sometimes they're respectful and they stop doing that. And because what it really usually is they want attention.
Right.
So if you're giving them that attention by saying like, I recognize that's what you're trying to do here, but it's annoying.
What about rat poison?
I'm sorry?
If they were killed with rat poison. No, hear me out. I just got an idea.
I'm listening. I'm here.
All right.
I'm present.
Okay.
All right. Here's what I think. Could you get rid of a pestering ghost if you could find out the way that they were killed or what they feared in life and provide that? to rid them.
That would agitate them, I believe.
Yeah.
Really?
Because
so
they-
if they were
they become
murdered with
defensive.
rat poison, you put rat poison out.
Then
That's
they would
that's
identify
not,
you as their murderer, and then they would attack you with the force that they would have attacked in life.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Do not antagonize your spirits with the thing that killed them.
Literally.
I don't know.
What's interesting is if a ghost is doing the activity for attention, addressing it.
Yeah.
Oftentimes addressing it, especially if you can learn its name. But if you can address it, it won't have to do the thing to get the attention that it's looking for. But if you're dealing with like a residual haunting, that means that something is happening on repeat for no perceptible reason. It's not something that you can undo or change. Houses themselves can embody and inhabit a certain type of energy that makes the very inanimate nature of something exhibit animated motion and movement. Not a lot you can do to stop that. There are so many weird things about the supernatural and paranormal and how they behave that make you have to examine what is the purpose, what is the reason, why is it doing this? Is it doing it to get your attention? Is it doing it to profess its existence? Again, the attention. So sometimes before you go to sleep, try announcing. Say goodnight. Give it a reason to believe that you acknowledge that it's there. And don't let it be frustration, because frustration will be, I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting what acknowledge it so that it doesn't think it needs to get your attention. But note that if that doesn't work, you're basically crossing off a checklist. What's next on the list? Why is this thing? Because poltergeist activity, very difficult to stop because it isn't trying to get anything and it's not trying to do anything. It's just being a noisy, pestering thing. And there isn't really a lot you can do. I mean, you can try the burning of sage or the rituals or make a little salt barrier around or whatever. But again, without the purpose, you're stuck. Because if it's trying to achieve something, it will not stop until it achieves it. And you can, bless your house. You could go to battle with it if you want to. But I found that sometimes that leads to more complications than relief.
Right. Well, and that's the problem is like if something was there before you even, you can't force it out. Like
it's consulting some exorcists of its own.
Exactly.
Bioexorcists.
Exactly. So
Associated Press just hit me up at 11:11 and said, breaking news, a total solar eclipse will sweep across North America on April 8th, 2024. Start making your viewing plans because this phenomenon won't be back for decades.
sweet. Love that. That's
it's not a surprise, a solar eclipse, is it? Because that's how horror movies always begin, or invasion,
Right.
space invasion movies always begin. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
That's
when
really
was
good.
last time?
Just figured I'd let y'all know. I mean,
That's going
All
to be a fun
So all
energy
of-
shift.
I would
for
love all
us.
of our listeners to,
today.
Everybody's going to.
it's April 8th, 2023,
So mind
20
you.
right?
Today is
yeah.
April 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but this is 2024.
Oh, 2024.
Yeah, this is in a
Oh, thank
year.
you.
That's why
I was
but
like,
AP sent
what?
it out at 11:11 to mess with us on the Eastern Coast.
Okay.
Because that's just what AP does.
Well, I will tell you.
So a year from today.
Yeah.
A year from today.
A year from when we
Yes.
recorded this.
Yes.
Yes, everybody is going to be losing their ever-living minds because solar eclipses just literally just
This is my chance. This is
shift
my.
y'all. What?
Oh, an energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set up some cameras. Get good footage of the solar eclipse if you can, because that's gold stock image.
Yeah.
It's true.
This is a very political episode. So, you know what? This is my chance to plug AP. If you want to read about news but don't want it leading left to right, download AP.
Yeah.
It's the best. That's all I get my news
generally
from.
read AP or BBC.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That was a good episode, O.
Yeah.
Woo!
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you guys for sending it. Woo! Meow.
No!
All right. Thank you guys for listening to this episode and sending in your questions. But my name is Madison Timmons.
And I'm
Meow. 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 Stay spooky. Meow.